So real time guys, new CDI, that's all we've done. We know that my one's a working CDI. Oh, popped off, 1 minute. I didn't see anything at that stage anyway, guys. Clutch in. I can't see any spark at all. Where are we on here? Are we twisted? Are we on? Let's do on and try again with the clutch in, not touching. Clutch in, that's the side stand switch. And then let's try touch in and clutch in. Sorry guys, I'm not sure exactly what you can see. I want to open up this spark plug gap a little bit, it's a bit tight. It seems a bit close actually. Best way just to know if you're getting spark is to touch it, but that hurts. No, I didn't see any. Didn't see any spark. Can't see any at all. What might we be missing then? Clutch and side stand switch. Clutch switch seems to be okay. Can we see it in there? Where are we? Let's see if there's any spark in there. One moment, just trying to angle you guys. I think at this stage you can see better than me. Except for when I put my head in the way, of course. Right, no spark. Okay, so not a CDI issue. That's good to know. Regulator, it shouldn't be a regulator issue because it can run without, can't it? Didn't we establish that last time? I can't remember. Yeah, it can run without it, I think. I'm going to have to pull out all these wires, have a good look at them all, good clean, and see what's going on. I should, out of good practice, check the other spark plug in case we just have one bad coil, but it's highly unlikely. So when I was going through the wiring at the front, guys, this wiring here, this wire in particular, which goes up to the start switch, let out a lot of water. Let me see if I've drained it, obviously. Let me see if I can get you any more. 1 minute. Right, so it hasn't rained today and it was undercover yesterday. I don't know if you can see that, guys, but this, now what's important in here is the actual start switch. So I think I have to work out, I think this is a start switch problem. I'd love to just whip off mine and sort of swatch it over, but it's all incorporated in the throttle, so I'm not going there. But let me see what I can do. I'm going to play with the actual switch itself in regards to its setting, and then I'm going to see if there's any way of bridging the switch. Basically work out what colours are in there, wire them together on this side to get, you know, to get back on track. The wiring on this bike is bad, guys. It is all over the place. Dead end wires everywhere. I don't even know what that wire is. I don't know what colour that wire is. it's, what colour is that? Black. If it's black or green, it's an earth, so it should be somewhere. I just need to kind of go through the whole wiring loom, but at the moment, because of the amount of water that's in there, I think this problem is with that, and that would make sense. So at the moment, I've hooked up again because I'm going to be kind of just playing with it and seeing if I can get it to basically just connect enough to do something, and then I'm going to be checking out the wiring colours and seeing what's going on and if I can bridge them. Okay guys, so having taken off this side on my bike, black with a white line and green is the start switch. Black with a white line and green. Now on here, on the same system, we've got black with the white line there. It's the only black with a white line. And then we've got green here. So somehow this green, I think, needs to connect with the black and white. I think. And it's not, doesn't appear to be doing it through here, because if the switch itself isn't working, so how am I going to bridge the black and white and green to see if it works? I think I'm going to plug it all in. I think I'm going to run a wire from there to the green on either side, it doesn't matter. So basically I think I'm going to bridge these two there and see if that brings back spark. I have no idea if it will, but I'm out of options at this stage, so I'm going to give that's going to be my next shot, just to see if it is an actual switch problem here. So I'm basically bypassing the switch. So guys, you're going to be set up from a slight distance, just so you know what I'm doing. I'm going to be bridging this here. Now, I'm glad that this hasn't done anything so far, because I am hooked up battery wise, although the ignition isn't on. Remember, the switch should never really do anything sparky or anything, should it? So when the engine's on, bridging this, if it's the right two wires, shouldn't cause any issues, except bring back spark if the actual switch is an issue. If the switch is an issue, there's no reason why you can't just keep this here and then you lose that switch completely. This is extremely high hopes, guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. If Jake was here now, he'd go immediately, yes, that's exactly what you need to be doing, or no, you're ridiculous, Charlie, don't be stupid. But he's not around at the moment, so I have to try my best. If this doesn't work, there's no point continuing with this kind of bit without going right through the loom and seeing if there's any obvious breaks and issues. So you can see the spark plug. I've got the clutch switch pressed in. I've got I'm going to be bridging this gap. Let's try. So we're on now. No sparks when I touch that wire, that's a good thing. I'm now bridging that wire with my hand. Let's see what's going on down here, I can't see. So no spark at the moment. Let me... So that's there anyway, they're bridged. So nothing should change there really, should it? What was I going to look at? Undo these in case these are the side stand switch, in case it's not meant to be touching. It might be a no touch one. And we're still getting nothing. Okay. From here, guys, it's go through the wiring loom now and see what's going on. Earths. This area looks a bit sketchy to me. I'm going to have a good look there. All up in here needs to have a good look and clean. And then I've got to pull out all these wires and just have a good look, see what's going on, unwrap everything and have a clean. So I'll see you in a couple of hours. So here's my next thoughts, guys. William mentioned a couple of times this new ignition set. Yes, it's highly unlikely there's an issue there, but you've got 4 wires coming out. You've got red, brown, green and black. And then this ignition set has 2 turnings. That's the only bit that concerns me most, in case we've got this slightly wrong. So the red goes to the red, there's no issues there. What I want to know is how William got his information next as to what goes where. I guess for me, I'm going to try and basically bridge all 3 together and hotwire it and see if that brings back the spark. There is a chance that that switch there isn't bridging one of these wires and causing loss of spark. There is a chance of that. So put the red back in, pop these out, bridge them together, all of them, pop this back in. You've basically hotwired the bike, see if you get spark back. Now this could actually bring back spark. I've got a kind of suspicion now that this could work because of the switch turning twice. I don't get it. So it turns once, which is on, and then again, which makes me think that the switch isn't great. And it means that that switch is for a double function rather than bringing back the ignition and the spark, if that kind of makes sense. I think it's missing the spark part. So I'll pop this all back in here, and then I'm going to touch all 3 of these together, throw on the battery and see what we get from there. For now, for my peace of mind, so I know what I'm doing, we have got red and black. Okay, we've got the middle red and black to brown and white. We've got the left red and black to black and white, and we have the right black and white to brown. So they don't seem that right anyway, guys. So again, for reference, this one here, black and white, is going to brown on its own. Middle wire, red and black, is going to brown with a white line. Left red and black wire is going to white, black with a white line. I do think these are wrong. So if my terrible hot wiring, guys, has worked, the battery's on. The horn should do something. So let's check the horn. Oh, hang on, no, the rear light. That's not actually on, is it? Horn. Ah, okay, so, right, so we aren't using the key. Let's see if we've got anything. I can't see spark there, can you guys? Oh, but my wires aren't touching. Could the side stand kill switch be on? This could be the final key, guys. This could be the final piece of the bobber puzzle. Let's wrap them up, because if it has a side stand switch, that wouldn't allow the spark now anyway. This could be everything in one place, ready. So clutch switch, side stand switch, ignition. Come on, come on. Oh, were you on camera there? Sorry, no, I didn't see a spark, by the way. Hang on a minute. Is there a spark? I can't tell, guys. I think I'm just seeing like reflection. Nah, there's no spark there, is there? Let me get you zoomed in a bit. Let's see. Nah, there's no spark there. Where next? I have no idea. Keep tinkering. Guys, I'm going to do something now that you guys actually praise me for a lot, which is why I do it. I made a huge mistake. See the 2 wires I cut here? By the way, I used the book. Here, they're stator wires. It wasn't the ignition switch. The side stand switch was taken off a long time ago. Oh, I'm an idiot, guys. So I've done all of this work. I don't know what actually I've really done, and I have no idea if we've got spark. So what have I got now? I haven't bridged this gap. Okay, it's not bridged. I have got the clutch side switch down. I don't know about the side stand switch now. I just know that it's not there because it's 3 wires, not 2. So let's see. So So we are on the switch here, that is all functional. What are we looking for? Wait a minute. Is that sparking? Oh my god, it's sparking. Guys, that was spark, was it? Is it sparking or not? Oh, it is sparking. Guys, it's sparking. Oh, you know what I've got to do next? Throw some fuel into this bad boy. Oh my god, and see what happens. Give me a minute, I'm going to put the fuel thing on. And then I don't even know what part I need to kind of carry on with, but that's fine for now. Let's see if we can hear an engine. Oh god, with no exhaust. Okay guys, so let's do this in real time. I'm going to throw some fuel in, I'm going to press the button, and we're just going to see what happens. There's no exhaust on this bad boy, so my god, it's going to be loud. But let's just do it. So loud. So, the bike for sale, guys. Some sort of bobber. Let me check on the exhaust. That might help work out what to do next. I should try and wire up that switch, shouldn't I? I should follow the same wiring system and see if it was the switch. I think it probably was the switch that was the issue. Let me see if I can get the switch working. That would make sense. I'll go back to original to see if William was right with his wiring up. I need to watch my old video to see what the colours were. So I've put the ignition wiring back to normal, guys. We'll see now if that was the issue all along. I'll have to check with William. I think he's watching now, but I have to check with William if the issues came after. I'm a bit confused as to whether it cut out in the rain or after a puddle, or if he tweaked it back together and then it just weren't right. So I just need to check all that out. So 1 minute, let me hook up. If it starts up, it means his wiring system. Yeah, so the issue is that ignition set. I wonder if he's got the wiring in the wrong order. I could try swapping them around and play with it a bit. Let me do that and see if I can get it working. Okay guys, so all I did was swap the wires around. I went from black and white to black and white, that just makes sense, and then the two browns to the two black and reds, that makes sense. It fired straight up, I'll show you, so you know there's no messing around. Oh, of course. Switch on. Switch off. So that's good. I'm going to take them wires back up now, because that's kind of one part of this puzzle that is resolved now. That battery was rubbish, but it'll probably be alright if the bike fires normal under normal circumstances. I'm definitely going to relocate the battery to on top like I did on there. So I'm going to do exactly what they did. I'm going to switch the regulator upside down like that, sit the battery on top of the regulator and have that secured there. I think the tank will sit fine because there's a bit of a notch under it. And that's just for aesthetics. This area here needs tidying up. But what I really need to do is chuck the exhaust on, make sure it selects gears, make sure it runs well, see how strong it pulls. You'll be curious to compare it to that one. And then I'm strongly going to be considering whether I chuck that engine in there and maybe parts this bike. It's a shame, it's quite cool, there's a coolness to it, but guys, it's not worth anything. It's a bit of a dodgy bobber, isn't it, with bad wiring. What I have here is a good engine for a bike that's in great nick over there, I think. Yeah, so I'm stupid enough to want to put the exhaust on that and maybe give it a quick spin somehow. I don't know. No reason why I can't chuck the tank back on, guys, and give it a run. Let's see. So guys, to put this end can on, I think them pipes have been chopped. So I need to chop that little bit off there to be able to see them properly. So I'm going to get the saw on that. And then I'm going to chuck that on with a bit of paste just to test it, to test the engine on a run. If the engine seems okay on a run, I have to decide if I'm using it or not in there. Now I paid $390 for the whole bike. I would easily have paid that for an engine, guys. And then I get what's left here to kind of strip and sell on, or I just kind of keep working on the engine I've got left, which is that one, or you know, just the combinations are endless, really, aren't they? So let me, I'm going to get hacksawing. I need to go to the toilet first, then get some hacksawing going, slip that pipe end can on, fire this thing up with its normal tank on, see how it runs and rides. It would have to really, really impress me for me to want to keep building it. I highly doubt. The only thing I could do is switch all the CAF stuff over, but the wheels are better on there, the chain sprocket, everything's newer. I think the engine swap would be your best bet. And that bike's just disappointing. I'm just really disappointed with that engine. So if I pop this engine out, I can give it its coat of black as well, can't I? Get it? The whole bike would be blacked out then, and I'll have one proper decent CAF racer ready to go with low mileage, 30,000 to be exact, and the clocks to match. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm really working on this one. Give me a bit to put the exhaust on so that I can at least take it up and down the road to see how we go from there. So guys, I used the old Dremel there to get a nice clean cut. One of my favourite tools, the Dremel. Now that I've got one. It's a wired one though, so I need to take the parts to it, which isn't the end of the world. But yeah, it's helped me so much already for silly things, taking carb screws off and just cutting that exhaust, because the little hacksaw there wasn't touching it. So a great tool if you haven't got a Dremel, well worth looking into one. Right, I'm going to put these exhausts on, put a bit of paste on, nip it up as best as I can, and then I'm going to check the electrical charging system of that bike and put its own tank on and try and take it for some sort of spin. Probably asking a hell of a lot, but if it's a good strong engine, almost definitely going to do an engine swap. Almost guaranteed, guys. And I'll paint that whole thing black when it's out of the bike, so it will be that black there, that same matte black. It will look stunning, I think. Let's see. I don't easily want to break this bike. kind of like it, but honestly guys, as it sits with the wiring and the being just a bit all over the place, it's a £600 bike, and it's kind of quite cool, it's quite quirky, but yeah, let's see. So guys, I'm going to attempt to run this thing. I'm running it on its own battery now. First thing I'm going to do is check the electrics, make sure it's charging. Remember, it just should be over 13, and that's fine. It should rise as you rev it. That's all good to go. Secondly, I want to kind of take it for a quick spin up and down that road outside there, that private road. See what it's like, I guess. Thirdly, I have to really work out what I want to do. I like its shape, guys. That little ding in the dent there, I can pop that out easy. I don't know, do I like its shape? Or is this just a proper bodge bike? It's different. It is different. See, I know I can neaten all that up. All that can be neatened and cleaned and tucked away. That's, you know, there's no issue there. But it will still just look like a broken bike. Let's fire this thing up. I'm going to check the electrics, and I'm going to take it for a quick spin. Let me fire it up and let it warm up first. It's running on its... Oh, sorry guys, bad angle there. It is running off its own thingy now, fuel tank, so it's got plenty of fuel in there. It should be fine for a little while to idle and stuff. And we'll check for smoke. I swear if it smokes, I'm burning both of them. Seems to be charging alright, guys. I'm going to let it sit for a minute or two. It sounds quite good, I think. It sounds quite healthy. There is actually a little bit of smoke coming out, look. Probably nothing to worry about. Oh god, let's see. Tiny bit smoky, nothing major at all. I wonder if this bike selects gears or does anything. Let's see if I can get you an angle. Did I spin this around earlier? Or was it the calf? I can't remember. It seems alright, guys. It's a touch smoky. Honestly, nothing at all like this thing. It seems alright. The oil is pitch black in it. It needs an oil change. Ideally, I think it is a bit smoky. Look. It doesn't feel like stupidly smoky. That feels like quite normal, just an older bike. Probably, maybe even jetting. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to ride. The oil is. I mean, if you just look over the bike, like, it's caked. It's caked in crap. That air filter is shocking. The oil, I'm going to show you the oil actually. It is black. Watch this, guys. My God, look at that. That's needed changing for a year. That's bad oil, guys. So I think with a good service, I think if I'm taking the engine out of that, I think I'm going to throw the original airbox in and make sure it's jetted to its standard jetting, because I just don't want to mess with these pods anymore. They're bad for the rain, they're bad for the bike. These bikes are designed to run with their normal jetting. So yes, I think that engine in there. Clean it and paint it when it's out, matte black. Drop the oil. Oil change. Put the airbox in, because you can put the airbox in when the engine is out. And have a nice running CAF ready for sale. And then a spare engine that needs some work someone can take. I'll make the 390 back anyway. I'll make it back on the sale of that anyway. Yeah, easy. And then I've got a bunch of parts that I can sell for, or I can keep my eye out for an engine, but they don't come up regularly, guys. It's very rare. Cool. But we've got a bobber here that starts on the key, which isn't comfortable to ride, or I don't know if I like the looks. I mean, if I'd done this, if I'd done it properly, painted the frame a bit, painted the forks, painted the wheels, basically painted the whole thing, new rear shocks, painted the engine, decent tank. It could be an original tank, but another newer one. Got rid of any rust there was. It just would still be a bit of an ugly Frankenstein of a bike, wouldn't it? I don't even like the number plate down there. It's all bent, it's all weird, it's all... That's a nice light and all there, guys. I can use that light on something else. I think I've bought an engine. I don't know what time it is, but that's kind of it for today. I'm working tomorrow, but I've got some fork seals to do on the Bandit, and obviously now I've got an engine swap to do. So yeah, sorry guys, I'm going blank because I'm thinking. Part of me wants to put this in the shop and get them to do the engine rebuild again properly, new valves. I know it takes weeks and weeks, and it costs a few hundred. It could be £500 or £600 worth of work. Or slot that engine in, clean it, paint it, run it, sell it. It's 10,000 miles less. I've got the clock attached to the mileage for it. And sell these parts. It's got nice straight forks there, you can see that. It's got nice wheels, calipers, brakes, shocks. A second engine that'll go, even though it needs work, it will sell. I've got a couple of days to consider this. no mad rush. So guys, this is probably me massively clutching at straws here, right? But I just checked the oil on the bike, on the calf, and it was way overfilled. I've taken out this much. That could be 300, 400 millilitres. I'm going to check the dipstick again. It might even still be too high. What this means is that the oil could have been forced up the piston and into the cylinder, which could have been causing smoke earlier. I mean, again, I'm massively clutching at straws, but you just never know. So make sure the bike's sitting upright. Take the oil reading. Let's see how we look. So it's high now, guys, but it's at a nice rating. It was, you know, a lot higher. So I could even drop a little bit more, but I don't want to because it's hard to tell when it's on that actual dipstick there. It's hard to tell where it really is sitting. You see. So that could be a little bit high still. I'm going to give this a good wipe and check it properly, and then I'm going to fire up again and see if anything's changed. There's a bit of an oil spill coming out of the carb on this occasion. I think, I don't know what's happened there. I'll need to just give it a bit of a clean, or maybe I knocked the float valve when I quickly did the jet last time. That's not a huge issue for now, not a huge issue, but obviously it needs sorting. But let me see if I can get it fired up with the right amount of oil in, and if it's any less smoky. That could be an absolute save if it was. So the oil's at a great level. The carb is spilling a bit when I fuel it, but I just want to get it up and running and see if we're any less smoky. I think I made a big mistake there by mistake. I overfilled the oil without really thinking. Let's get this fired up. Let's sit it for a minute or two. Let's see what happens. Oh, I forgot I undone you. Oh, interesting. You know what I've done, guys? I've swapped the CDIs over. That's interesting. I wonder if we've got spark. Let me put this back on properly and we'll have a play. So guys, the calf didn't have a spark with that CDI on it. So the CDI had blown on that. I think it blew when William did the wiring of the switches because they were wrong. I think that would have blown the CDI. It makes sense. Let's fire this up. Let's put the fuel on. It's got a bit of... Ooh, 1 minute, guys. Where was I? It's got a bit of a fuel spill, but nothing to worry about. Let's get it fired up. Fires up immediately on the other CDI. So a blown CDI, that makes sense. I might have made a huge mistake using the wrong oil in that bike, and I might have caused the smoke. It needs 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to really see if I've had a save there, but it's unlikely, guys. It's unlikely. I'm not going to film the whole time. It's not fair on you guys. It's boring. If the smoke comes back, I'll let you know. If it doesn't come back, I'll be doing cartwheels. So it's been 5 minutes, guys. It doesn't smoke on idle. It smokes on acceleration normally. So check the fuel anyway. I better top that up a touch because I want to run this for as long as needed to make sure that that was my mistake and not the original issue. It's amazing how other things can look like the original issue. So I want to keep this running for a while. It was about, to be fair, it's 5 to 10 minutes last time, and I rode it before it started smoking. And I think I went over the bump too fast, which is what I did. And then I think the oil jumps into the piston and smokes out. I think that was my fault, overfilling the oil. Let's have a look. Tiny bit of smoke, nothing to worry about yet. I'm going to let it idle for another 5 to 10 minutes. And once again, maybe be able to declare the bike as done. I'm not sure. The other problem I had is the petrol tank. Just getting the routing right and knowing what which turning is on or off. It's the right pain, so I'm going to have a good look at that after. If and when that works properly, pop the carb off, clean the float valve out again just to make sure that's seating, because there's no suction system on here, and then we should be good to go. I'd probably like to put an inline switch off system if I had the choice. I'd put an inline fuel off so that I'm not messing with the left and the right. I'll show you what I mean on here, guys. Look, left and a right. I just want one, you know. I don't know if one's a reserve or not. I just want the one that sits on the side of the engine. That's that one over there. I don't know if I can just leave this one off, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. And I took the sticker off with, you know, people were telling me they didn't like it, so I just peeled it off. I think that's sounding healthy. I'm going to keep it running though. I'm going to keep working it. I think I messed up there, guys. I took out a lot of oil, nearly 500 millilitres. And what happened was I hit the bump, and I went over the bump really fast. And I think the oil's spit up too high into the pistons, and that's what was pumping out. We're 12 minutes in now, guys. 12 to 13 minutes. How are we doing for fuel? No issue there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go up to roughly 20 minutes, and then I think celebrate maybe. I'm not sure. I am going to pop the carb off though. And make sure the float valve is seated and sealed, because I did a very quick jet change, didn't I, last time? If that's the case and this bike's alright, guys, I can build that, which is exciting, really. Right, I'm going to give it another 8, 9, 10 minutes. I'd love to take it for another spin, but it's getting dark, it's getting late. 8, 9, 10 more minutes. That will take it up to 20. I think it's fine, guys. I know exactly what happened earlier. Completely my fault. So, guys, that's it. I'm back to considering that a victory. Really silly mistake there I made. It's quite a lot of oil. And the bike ran great and idled for ages really well, didn't it? And then I shot over a bump. I reckon that's 400 or 500 millilitres, which is a hell of a lot in a little engine like this that only takes what, 1 litre anyway, or 1.1 or something. So massive mistake there, my fault. Makes so much sense. I shot over the bump, the oil jumped, went into the cylinder, smoked, as if there was oil in the cylinder before anyway, except this time it wasn't coming down through the valve seals. It jumped up from the bottom. Absolutely, I'm dead set, that's fine, but I'll obviously keep an eye on the bike over a couple of days. I'm going to pop the carb, I'm going to clean the float really quickly. I'm quite happy with the jetting at the moment, so I'm not going to mess with that. It rode very well earlier. So I'm going to leave the jetting as it is. I am going to have a little play with this fuel tank. I want to make it one of them working, and I want to get rid of the other one. Again, I'm just going to show you. So I want one of these working, the one on the same side as the bike carb, and then I want the other one gone because it's just unnecessary. So I'm going to deal with that and make this a simpler bike. I'm going to clean all this off, get rid of the last bit of sticker, give it all a clean and a polish, and get this bike advertised tomorrow probably. Not that it ain't gonna sell quickly, this one, because it's quite a high price. I'm looking at around 1850 for it, and I don't think I'm punching too high there because of all the Honda CGs and stuff out there. This is ultra low emissions free. This will be great for going through London. I just want to do a couple of little tweaks on it, mainly these things that I keep talking about and then don't do, because it's a bit of a pain. or even if I find my black pen, just dab it all out or whatever. But yeah, so I'm a bit happier now. I thought I was ending the day badly. That CDI is busted. I've cleaned the connections with brake cleaner. Very similar to contact cleaner, guys. It kind of disintegrates. I'm going to chuck it back on here and see if that starts. I'm curious, that's all. But I think that CDI blew when William put on the ignition key. Alright guys, closing video for today. I'm pleased, I'm very pleased. The bobber, I quite like it. I've been sitting on it a lot, just feeling its stance. I quite like it. I'm trying to work out what to do with the battery. I thought it could go up here, but there's not much room. If I got one of them flat lithium ones it would, but you just would never get the money back for that. They're 170 quid. I could tuck the battery up here a bit more and make this area free. That's probably the plan. Yep, and then it needs kind of lots of work. It needs all the wiring neatening up, and it needs new oil. That oil's terrible. But there needs the CDI ordering, and then it kind of needs, I guess it needs all paint. Probably going to go down the black route. But yes, but that's that. And then the CAF, I think, is looking brilliant. I had a bit of a mishap with this. I'm basically not using this anymore. And it just drips no matter what, even when switched off. So I've had to put that to block it. But look, it ruined the paint. So I'm going to let that dry fully, give it a bit of a sand tomorrow and put another coat on it. That will look absolutely fine afterwards. But bloody splashing fuel is so annoying. Hopefully this holds it completely and fully. I'll know tomorrow. It's not got any on it right now. So I'll know in the morning if it's completely solved. And I'm only going to use the tap on this side. I'm going to run that tap there. I'm going to run the fuel line down and around. So that there's no messing around. I didn't like that join on the other one. It made no sense at all. One tap is absolutely fine. Yeah, I will get round to painting them eventually. Give the bike a good clean. And then the CAF is ready to go. I've actually got a nice Honda sticker for there that I've been holding back on until I felt it was really finished. They look great around Honda stickers. So, the other thing, guys, when I was driving it earlier, this is bolted nice and secure now. I made sure of that. I just don't like this bit. Look. So I need to somehow secure the top kind of back. Now I've got options. I could put a couple of holes there and I could cable tie to the bar. Could I? Yeah, I could, because the bar turns. Quick, easy solution that is, but it's a bit bodge, isn't it, putting a big old cable tie through there. I don't know what else I can do, guys. It kind of moves a lot on the one pivot bolt. That's the problem. I do need to really join something up here, from here to here. I'm not sure what that is yet. I'll work on that. To be fair, it's not a huge issue. I didn't like the way it felt.